Welcome to Echoes of My Imagination. My name is Tracy Lee. Sit down, relax, and let me tell you a story. Today's story is called The Bridge of Theron Marsh, where the veil thinned not at nightfall but at dawn, and one who walked between did not fear the dead, but what the living had forgotten. Let's get into it. Theron Marsh is not a place found by compass or map. Theron exists between, where wind forgets its direction and roots curl in spirals under standing water. The marsh bloomed with silent white blossoms and whisper-thin reeds that tickled ankles with every step. Fog rolled even under blue skies. It was a place of crossing, of remembering. The villagers on either side of the marsh never entered its heart, not for fear of beasts, but of remembering too much. They called it haunted, but the truth was it listened, and once it answered. She was born just before sunrise, neither day nor night, in a birthing tent that straddled the marsh's edge. Her mother said the wind paused for her first breath, that mist curled into the infant's nose before air did, that her cry sounded like both a scream and a whisper. She never quite fit in. She could sense emotions not spoken, felt drawn to bridges, and once told her mother at age 5 that the man with no name needed forgiveness, just before a messenger came with news of a distant uncle's death. She was raised in a fishing village where people averted their eyes when she passed. She sang to dragonflies and floated paper bones down the river to mourn strangers she's never met. She slept better near graves than near hearths. She preferred silence to small talk. She spent hours by the broken rope bridge leading into the marsh's heart, just watching the fog breathe. At 13, a fever took her. She hovered between life and death for 4 days. When she awoke, she whispered, "I heard their stories. They want to rest, but we never let them." She rebuilt the old bridge herself, plank by plank, with bones tied underneath for balance. She walked it barefoot, wearing only threads dyed in midnight indigo. Villagers feared she would vanish. Instead, she found the threshold. At the center of the marsh, a stone circle stood partially sunken, carved with glyphs of release and passage. There she built a shelter woven of rushes and memory, a place where the dead could speak their final words and the living could listen. Each dawn she lit incense in spirals. Each dusk she sang into the mist, and sometimes the mist answered. She created rites of rest, floating petals marked with words unsaid, bone chimes made from ancestors' flutes, songs that only made sense if you'd lost someone too soon. She welcomed the grieving and those on the brink, and if someone could not forgive, she held vigil until they remembered how. Once a year, when the veil was thinnest, she would walk the bridge at dawn, holding a lantern of moth-wing glass. Behind her followed those ready to let go. And when she returned, she always walked alone. In her 40th year, the marsh began to dim. The reeds no longer sang. The stones began to sink. She knew the path was closing. So one last time she lit every lantern, sang every name she'd ever carried, and walked the bridge as the sky shifted. At its center, she placed her lantern and stepped forward into the mist. The bridge remains, but no one hears footsteps now, only breath. And if you speak truth while crossing, they say the mist will part. And that's it for today. Thanks for listening to Echoes of My Imagination. I'm Tracy Lee. Don't forget to subscribe and share, and I'll catch you next time.